Hi everyone, Neil Douglas. This is American Truth Finders, and got a few things I want to talk about tonight. And I think that if you would like to join in, make your comments, please feel free to do so. I will be able to see your comments. I did find that out the other night because I've not. I did my first live broadcast a couple nights ago and found out I can get comments and I can respond to them. I'll do everything I can and hope that you will share this because there's a couple things that I'm going to try very hard not to take up a long time tonight, but there's some things that I think are very important that we need to talk about. And like I told those that saw me on my last show, when I was doing radio, I kept notes and nobody could see what I was reading and so on and so forth. I still do the same thing. I could put them up on the screen, but I'm going to not do that because then I can't see if you are sending me a message. Um, and the thing that I think is important right now is something that was just I saw it was actually on one of the news sites last night, but I think this was done earlier in the month. Excuse me. I'm human and I do cough and I do have kind of a frog in my throat, and I apologize for that. Anyway, Eric Trump claimed that the coronavirus will magically disappear or go away after the election. Now, I'm going to tell you something. First of all, I do believe that the virus exists, and I want those that feel the same way. I want you to let me know. Number one, and if you know of anybody, you don't mention their name, but just tell me yes, you know of someone who's had the virus, or maybe even lost a family member or a friend or someone that you know did. Uh, it's a terrible thing. But anyway, for him to say this, in a sense, I'm probably going to make a lot of angry people out there, but in a sense, I believe this is true that the virus will slow down as far as after the election. This is a political thing, in my opinion. I do believe that it exists. Does it exist as much as the normal flu, seasonal flu that we get every year? I'm going to actually refer you to a site, and I'm going to post it after I get done with the with this broadcast. That Dr. Vernon Coleman, who is he's an international bestseller author, that he in actually in a way ex- explains this whole picture to us. And I'm going to give you his website when I get done after the show. But public health experts, according to Eric Trump, include some of the Trump's administration. Now, I'm not positive that was according to Eric Trump or this is the person who wrote this article. And I find that to be true, though. The Republicans right now, I'm going to tell you as I see it, are afraid of the Democrats. People have been saying the Democrats are afraid of the Republicans and back and forth. But the reason I say they're afraid of it because now they are condemning the president for not wearing a mask. But did you notice that lately any pictures or any uh, like the task force, they were wearing masks, including the Vice President Pence. They're canceling rallies or even going to visit different areas of the country. Now, I know that this is something that is people are probably sick and tired of hearing. It is your freedom, it is your right, it is to do whatever you want as far as wearing a mask. Either you like one and you wear it, or you don't like one and you don't wear it. It's your choice. If you have the virus, you may give it to somebody else if you don't wear it. If you don't have the virus, you might help not get it from somebody who is not wearing one. So it's a toss-up. It really is. Pardon me again. This is live, so I can't. I do have a mute button, but I just keep forgetting to hit it. Anyway, the thing is, Dr. Coleman, he made reference to something that really shocked me because I've looked for numbers according to this as the what went on as far as last year's flu or any other year's flu, and I'm going to give you some numbers that may or may not surprise you. The flu. Now we're talking about worldwide. 1 billion with a B. 1 billion with a B had the flu last year. Now, according to Dr. Coleman's records, right now it's up to 10 million coronavirus this year. That's quite a big difference. He also goes on to say that the death rate is about the same. Now, what that tells me is if the death rate of 10 million people is the same as that of 1 billion people, that's, if you were to push that forward, that'd be a lot of death rates of 1 billion people if it caught up to that. But my question is to you, is this a political ploy? Is this politically being used because it's an election year? I have to believe that it is tied together. The media definitely is playing this up big time, all of it. I don't care if it's conservative media or if it's left-wing media. It is being really played up. Interesting that there was a lot of things that were suddenly dropped when the coronavirus came along. Now, all of a sudden, with the situation and the new news about the Trump knowing about the bounty or whatever you want to call it on our troops in Afghanistan. Why didn't he know? That's going to be the news now for a while. That's what you're going to hear. You're going to hear that a lot. You're going to hear it probably to the point where it will downplay the virus. Except for the fact now they want to bring the virus up until they can get this thing in order somehow or another. And I'm talking about all the media. They're telling us about how the uprising of the coronavirus is happening again. Is this something that is just a way of controlling us and brainwashing us and making us scared to death? I know I've said this in past videos, but I have to be honest with you. It is becoming a ridiculous situation that we have to be brainwashed by the media. And regardless of what side you're on, you're going to believe whatever you want to believe because that's what you watch or what you're told. How many people are really thinking for themselves? How many are doing their own research? I find this very sad that we are in a situation that lockdowns are coming back. We have states, Florida, closing their beaches for the 4th of July or whatever. For those that like to go to a bar and have a drink or visit with their friends, whatever. Nope, takeout only. Gatherings will be limited, and I'm not talking about just Florida. I'm talking about, Arizona. I'm talking about California. I'm talking about so many places. If in fact all of this is not political, and if in fact it really truly is real, I, I believe the coronavirus is real. I'm not saying it isn't. It's a flu. It is a flu. I say it spreads fast, and I'm guessing it does because within 2 to 14 days you get it. Well, what's the normal flu? I don't know. I guess I would have to do some research on that. Maybe somebody else knows. Maybe one of you out there know. What is the numbers of how fast the regular flu spreads? The fact that it's political, the fact that it's becoming right versus left makes no sense. It's interesting how hospitals suddenly became more available. Well, they said, well, that's because due to medicine has been the faster recoveries. But during the epidemic, the heavy part of the epidemic, as we know it, the lockdown when it first started, and nobody could go anywhere except to the store or to the hospital or doctor or pharmacy, only places of necessity. Even with all the places that you worked at, couldn't go. Stores closed, malls closed. Has this been a scare tactic, or has it really happened the way we are being told? Are the numbers correct? Are the numbers truly correct? Now, if I misstated the 10 million uh, drivers in this year, my apologies. But the 1 billion, I'm talking about worldwide as well. The 1 billion is a ton. I mean, it's so much more. So I'm thinking that when Dr. Coleman mentioned that it is like uh, uh, just the death rate's about the same. I'm sure he's talking per population, or I would think he is. I'm not speaking for him. When I send you the link, you can watch the video and make your own mind up. Anyway, I can give you his link now if you want it. I'll also post it, but of course it's HTTPS, uh, colon / www.vernoncoleman.com. Just, look for vernoncoleman.com and I'm sure you'll find him. Now, I'm going to move on. I'm going to move on. New York City Mayor de Blasio wants to cut the police funding by $1 billion. It's a lot of that's a lot of money. Now, let's make this simple. What happens when you cut the police force? You lose police officers. Those that are sitting in class ready to be trained. No, they're going to continue to wait or not be trained at all. They want to put these sources into other places without police protection, whatever. I'm in favor of doing things to improve communities for children, for adults, for people who live in poverty, but I'm not in favor of them not having police protection. How many people were shot in New York City in the last week or two? How many people have been shot and killed even in Chicago? How many people are shot and killed in places where they have taken over like an anarchy? Some of you may or may not have heard about the two young boys that were shot. One of them was killed. He was 16 years old. The 14-year-old, I last I heard he was in critical condition. I pray that he will survive. Shot and killed. In Chicago, nobody talks about the child that was 3 or 5 year old child that was shot through a car and killed. I mentioned this in my last program. If you don't have police, who's going to take care of protecting us? Is it going to be the social workers that they're talking about? Many cities want to do away with police and have like public safety people. They're going to answer everything. They're going to do what? Go to stop somebody from getting shot or getting hurt? Are they going to answer to civil uh, disorder, domestic disorder, shootings, people that are being held up at a fast food or even a convenience store? Are they going to send? Are they going to take care of people who have been injured? Are they going to take care of fires that have been started? Are they going to take care of the anarchists? I'm asking you. I'm asking you. Is this what you want? Do you want anarchists? I'm going to read to you what anarchist is. Mikkel, thank you for that. She comments that let's not do away with the police. I I'm totally in agreement with her. But I'm going to tell you because a lot of you probably think you know what anarchist is, but let me explain something to you. Number one, it's the absence of government. What happens when you have absence of government? I think that's pretty obvious. You have nothing that can help a state, a country, a city, whatever the case might be, to progress. A state of lawlessness or political disorder due to the absence of government authority, like, for instance, the city's police, They descend into anarchy. Utopian society of individuals where they enjoy complete freedom without government. Now, I'm going to ask you, is that what you want? I know that we're tired of the brutality of police officers. That's what, maybe 1% of all police officers. And as far as politicians, yeah, we're all tired of politicians because they're only thinking about themselves. They'll sit and they'll argue with each other over a bill like the choke bill, for instance, of police officers, that they can't get together on it. They defeat each other. And I'm talking about the Republicans and the Democrats. There's an absence or denial of any authority or establishment order by, for instance, in a ghetto area, and I'm sorry to use that term, but if the police are afraid to go into it because anarchy has taken over, example, in Minneapolis, when with that community would not allow the police in, that was an anarchy movement. That is an anarchy movement. The people that live in those areas need police protection. Now, if there is a situation where maybe it's a domestic disorder, then send somebody else in. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that. Set up a system that will work for that. But when you need protection, you need it now. You need it with people that knows how to deal with it. And police officers are trained to. I do agree that police officers need to be better trained as far as how they handle certain situations. I said that in my last video, and you can go back and watch that if you like. But anarchy is absence of order, disorder, and it's manufactured plots of a wild anarchy of nature. And I'm going to tell you, it is dangerous. But the United States of America is headed that direction if we are not careful. I'm telling you right now, this concerns me. If it concerns me, it ought to concern you. I don't know if it does or not, but it does concern me that we need to get down to business. Our politicians are to blame for most of all of this, and are because they will not, they can't vote on anything and agree. Right now, this election year, and you're going to have all kinds of problems. You're going to have all kinds of issues come up. Uh, you're going to have all kinds of slurs and slams and mud thrown. But is it going to accomplish anything other than either we keep the president we have or we get a new president? Bottom line is this. Bottom line is this. This is an ugly year. It's been an ugly year. It's going to get uglier. I'm I'm almost lost for words because there are there are so much more important things. Like what about the job situation? Bring back the jobs. Come on. Help these poor people find a way to survive, to be able to get homes, to be able to get jobs, to be able to feed their children, to educate their children, to 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 be able to be protected by our police departments. Anarchy, look it up. If you disagree with me, that's your opinion, and I respect everybody's opinion. And I will tell you, Cal just mentioned that she definitely does not want to live in a place without cops who will protect us. This young lady, I have to tell you, has got more brains than most adults. A lot of these people that are out there rioting and fighting against the police, shooting at them, throwing things at the police, bricks, you name it, getting to a point where police are saying, "Hey, we're walking away, we're walking out. You just handle, do what you want, tear up the place, you know." And then businesses suffer, people suffer, people that worked all their lives to build a business. This is what America is becoming. We are becoming a system of hatred. We become a system of violence. We become a system of moving so far away from what America really should be. This is the new America, by the way. I mentioned that in one of my first uh, videos, and I'll say it again. This is what the new America is at this point. We can change it, but we have to come together. And I'm going to say one more thing that I mentioned in the last video about the Black Lives Matter wanting to start a new political uh, party. I think it's great if that's what they want to do. I really do. This might be just exactly what this country needs. We've had a two-party system that has not done a damn thing except divide us. And that's exactly what's happened. And I don't care whether you think it was Trump's administration, Obama's administration, Bush's administration, or Bill Clinton's administration going back. This country is divided. It's time to bring it back together, or the country is done. D-O-N-E. I think I spelled that right, but it's done. And anarchy will take over. We'll have no government. We'll have no protection. We'll have no police. We'll have no. You won't even be able to go anywhere without fear. It's bad enough that that's happening today with so many people in so many communities, so many cities. Ladies and gentlemen, wake up. We've got to get our act together. Pray for this country. Pray for your leaders that they will get their heads out of the sand and work together to better the country, not divide it as what is happening. If you want it to become a communist country or whatever, uh, hey, then don't vote. So many of these people need to be voted out of office. They've been there for years. But that's just not the only problem. It's not just the political people. It is the fact that the American people keep voting them in. They've given them their lifetime of politics, their career. I'm going to tell you right now, I've gone too long. I said I wasn't going to. I'm sorry. I've rambled maybe again, but this has to change. We have to we have to stop any anarchy and get law and order back into this country, get this coronavirus thing out of the political ring, which it is, and we need to start thinking as brothers and sisters. We are brothers and sisters. We live here. Yes, we're going to have disagreements. We can agree to disagree to agree. Think about that. We might disagree, but we can agree to talk and we can still disagree, but if we can come together with a solution, let's do it. And we, as the people, can do it. We can correct this solution. I'm sad. I'm sad. But I'm going to ask one more time. You can comment it if you like. You don't have to. Do you think the coronavirus is just another way, a political way, of controlling the American people? And is this a movement all over the world for countries to do the same thing, to control the people of their country? This is very, very serious. Is this a political move? I believe the virus existed, but I don't know if it's any worse than the normal flu as far as what happens. But I'm not a doctor. Again, I want you to go to Dr. Vernon Coleman's site. It's just vernoncoleman.com. You can find it. Watch his video. Listen to his numbers. Listen to his actual facts. I think you'll be impressed. Ladies and gentlemen, I've gone way over what I was going to. I appreciate your comments, your opinions. I always will respect them. I may not agree, but I will respect them. I hope you respect mine. And I thank you so much for watching. And if you like what I had to say, or if you think that your friends should see it, please share this. In the meantime, till next time, God willing, this is Neil Douglas, American Truth Finders. Good night, everyone. Pray for this country, okay?